Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. A quick video today. I kind of want to talk about health is wealth. So as you can see, I didn't take a trade, but we'll still go over trade recap later on in the video. But before I get into this, I want you guys to let me know in the comments section, what does that mean to you? What does that phrase mean to you? Health is wealth. For myself, recently I've experienced a lot of either people or myself going through health issues. I was recently sick with the flu, and that completely ravaged me. I'm feeling a lot better, thankfully. I'm very thankful to God for that. But it was tough. I haven't been that sick in a very long time. I think since I had COVID about 6 years ago, where I felt like I was gonna die. Um, but recently, this weekend, a few things happened where one, Stephanie's sister ended up having to have emergency surgery. Thankfully, she's okay. She's fine. But obviously that can be very scary, especially too when you don't know what's going on, when things are, she's not looking good, she's throwing up, she's not able to feed herself, she's not able to eat that much. So that happened this past weekend. Also too, while trying to like research some stuff for her in terms of what's going on, um, I happened to go on Facebook, which I never do, rarely do, but I saw that a high school acquaintance had passed away. And this is someone that was my age, who was 31, um, and he had three kids, a wife, so he had a beautiful family, and he had passed away about a couple weeks ago, and they were doing his celebration of life this past Sunday, and that really hit me really hard. It was kind of like when Diogo Jota, if you guys watch any soccer, when he passed away, again, my age. I think he had three kids, two or three kids. Again, he just had gotten married and he had passed away. I know that's not exactly a health issue, but well, he died in a car accident, but I know that's not exactly a health issue. But for my friend or my acquaintance, he, had some medical complications, a medical emergency, and he had passed away. Um, I saw him 3 years ago, actually, before I took my board exam to become a physical therapist. I was going to the gym. And I saw him in the gym, and we talked for a little bit. He was doing well and stuff. He was actually one of the coaches for my alma mater in high school, and he was coaching the kids. It looked like he was doing really well. So to see him suddenly pass away, again, due to medical complications, due to his health, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, and it hit me hard. And it's always tough whenever you see that kind of thing, especially to someone who is still so young, someone who's in the prime of their life, with small kids. Now they're gonna have to grow up without a father. It's very difficult. And I think about how health is so important. A lot of times people think that we can choose how healthy we are in a sense, right? Like, oh, if I just eat healthy, if I exercise, if I do the right things, I'm gonna be healthy. And that's not the case. I really wish it was, but I'm sure you guys have come across many stories of people who are very fit, very healthy. They have a health complication, whether it was congenital, meaning it was from birth and they had no idea, or, something just came up randomly. They had cancer. These things, they come up all the time, and we don't get to choose. Health is one of those things in Stoicism that they teach you that is, it's not in your control. It's absolutely not. Of course, you can influence some of your health, right? So, eating right, exercising well, getting enough sleep. Those are the things that can help you. But it doesn't mean that you're going to be healthy just because you're doing all of those things. It's really up to God or the universe or whatever you want to call it, right? Nature, if you want to call it like that. And thinking about it like that, it can kind of be scary. So when I think about trading and I think about how we're all trying to achieve that generational wealth, shouts out to my guy Central C because he talks about that all the time, but how we're all trying to get there, how we're all trying to provide for our families, for our friends, we're trying to achieve that wealth. In reality, when these types of things happen, whether it's to Stephanie's sister or to my acquaintance or even to myself too, you start realizing what's more important. I remember a video from Cool Trades. He was speaking about how he got into this really bad car accident, and he thought he was going to die. And this guy is a very successful trader, but he was saying that in those moments that he thought he was going to die, he was not thinking about money. He was thinking about his family, his friends, if he was ever going to be able to speak to his mom again. And I guarantee you, if you guys were in that same situation where your health is deteriorating fast, you're not going to be thinking about the money. You're going to be thinking about the time that you have with your loved ones, with your friends, with your family. And I think that's so important too. And I know that people have squabbles, people have differences, right? I think if it's someone that you really love, it's someone you really care about. Obviously, each situation is different, right? So you have to judge it for what it is, but do your best to put that aside. You don't know when you're going to leave this life. You don't know when you're going to pass away. And it's one of those things that it could happen in a flash. It could happen so quick. One day you're driving to work and then, something crazy happens, you get into a car accident, you pass away. And I know a lot of people don't like to speak about death. I talk about death quite a bit actually, um, in my own personal journal. And I know that it can happen at any moment, it can happen at any time, and I constantly remind myself of that. And that's what affects my decision making. That's what affects what I say to people, how I treat others, what I do in my life. That's why I trade. That's why I'm here. Because if I pass away, I want Stephanie to have money. I want her to be okay. I want my family to be okay. I want my friends to be okay. You know, the people that depend on me, I want them to be okay. So that's why I do this. That's why I trade. And I also think too, that's why I'm frustrated today that I didn't get a trade. We'll go over the trade recap, but I could tell my emotions were heightened. I wasn't feeling well last night. I only had 3 hours of sleep. I had diarrhea. My stomach was hurting a lot. I was like, I can't miss another day of work. I still went to work. I wasn't feeling well at work. And I knew that lack of sleep could affect my decision making when it comes to trading. That's another way that your health can impact you whenever it comes to trading. So as I'm seeing gold continue to rise and rise and rise and rise, and I'm not a part of it, I can feel my emotions. I can feel myself being more frustrated. Like, bro, like how come you didn't just pull back to VWAP? How come you just didn't enter my level? How come you didn't just wait for me, right? Like the market is some person that's gonna wait for you, like you're waiting for a ride. But I could feel that. So I knew that I couldn't trade today. I wanted to trade today. I was waiting, holding out on hope, but I didn't. And it's so important for me to get proper sleep. It's so important for me to take care of myself and influence my health as much as possible. So that way I can be prepared and ready for a mentally taxing game that is trading. That I can even be mentally and physically prepared for my own job, my physical therapy job, which in itself is very mentally taxing and physically taxing too. So I say all of this stuff to say that health is wealth. It really is. And it's something that I don't take for granted. I've been sick since I was a kid. I've mentioned in previous videos before. I have chronic pain. I have fibromyalgia. So it's not something that I go every day and I think, oh, I'm so healthy, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm invincible. I'm like, no, I'm an old 29-year-old. I have a lot of things going on. I mean, even my sty, in 2025 was such an issue as well that caused me pain in my eye. And it just came out of nowhere, and it wouldn't go away. It caused me financial stress because I had to pay money to figure out things to get it away from my eye, and it caused me pain, like physical pain. It caused me mental stress. And your health is so important. So guys, please like do what you can. First of all, take care of yourself to the best of your ability. Don't take it for granted if you're healthy. If you're not healthy, just keep pushing through it, keep working, you know, manage your situation the best you can. Um, and just understand that at some point, like we will pass, whether it's due to our health or whether it's due to other things too. So don't take it for granted. Don't take your life for granted. Don't take your health for granted. And do what you can with the life that you have right now in order to impact the people that are most important to you. So, for myself, that is trading. I wanted to trade today. I really wanted to trade today because I felt like the market was setting up very well, very sweetly for us. Um, but nothing ever came to fruition. It is disappointing. It is disappointing for sure. Now, if we look at the trade real quick, I'm going to do this, then I have to go to bed for sure. I mean, look, it's just been a parabolic move. I mean, we've been in so much chop, 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 right? We formed this bull flag down here, and then this is the 1 hour, by the way. Another bull flag right here, that's the next leg, and then parabolic move up. There's nothing I could do. There's nothing I could do. This obviously happened tonight, 8 o'clock. I missed that whole move. It's not that I missed it. And something that frustrates me is that it's like I know which direction the market is going, but because we're at all-time highs, this is the highest we've ever been, right? I can't. It's not like I can just sit here and be like, "Oh yeah, guys, like we're just gonna take it, and we don't know where we're going." My trading strategy doesn't work like that. So instead, what I want to wait for pullbacks. I want to wait for good levels. I want to wait for established levels. So at this point right here, 759, this is what the candle looks like. We're at current session value area high. We're looking for a pullback to VWAP. I'm not expecting this level, but at least some type of pullback for us to come down to, right? So this is the 8 o'clock candle right here. Then we propel ourselves higher, higher. Nice high volume here. And we continue. So now we're looking for a pullback. Like, okay, cool. Continues, right? Slight pullback here, but that's not enough for me. I always like to be one ATR away from VWAP. This is multiple ATRs. In fact, it's about 5 ATRs away. So we're still looking for some type of pullback. We don't get it. We push up again. VWAP is trying to catch up. It's doing its best. That's not catching up enough, right? This is probably the closest that we get at this point. I wanted us to come down lower, but we did not. So at this point here, I'm still looking for a nice move. I wanted us to break 818, come down the VWAP, and then explode off of it, right? So the lowest this candle got was 820.5. At this point, we're still about 3 ATR away. So it's getting closer. I'm thinking about getting in. At this point, it's 9:30, and usually 9:30 is when I don't trade. So that's it for me. It did end up going up from 9:30, and we never got the pullback that we really wanted. So it's frustrating because you look at this and you're like, brother, look at this move. What an insane move. But I also know too, I remember I keep referencing the best loser wins. I don't know if this one's actually from the best loser wins. It might be from Trading in the Zone from Mark Douglas, but he said that one of them said that they had someone that they knew and everybody was going up to them saying, "Oh, so and so, did you take this trade? It was a parabolic move, blah blah blah." And he was like, "No, it didn't fit my criteria." He's like, "Bro, what? Like, you completely missed out on that move." He's like, "No, I didn't. It just didn't fit what I wanted." And he's a very successful trader too, whoever it was. I can't remember. And that's the mindset that I'm trying to have. Now, like I said, I'm only on 3 hours of sleep. I'm so tired. I need to go to sleep. So I'm frustrated. I'm emotionally frustrated over it. I'm accepting it, right? I'm not acting on it. I'm not going to be a degenerate and just enter randomly, right? Because that's how we end up losing. But it is one of those things. I'm like, dang, man. Like, I really want to have a winning week. I want to have 2 more winning days. It's Wednesday, right? When this video comes out, it's Wednesday. I want to get a payout this week, right? Now, again, when I'm trading, I don't think about the money. I just think about the process, right? But outside of trading, of course, these are the thoughts that come up into your mind, right? I'm not rushing it, but it would have been nice to take advantage of a nice move like that, especially too when you know the direction of where the chart is going. But these things happen, so we have to be able to accept it. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video today. Like I said in the beginning, let me know in the comment section below, what does health is wealth mean to you? What does that phrase mean to you? I think it's something that's um, really important. I know it today wasn't exactly like a full on trading video like how I normally do, but I really did think that this was a very important topic, especially too that I was feeling it this morning. Only on 3 hours of sleep, not feeling well, um, recovering from the flu, having all of these things happen this past weekend. It's something that I wanted to talk about, and I thought today, especially with no trade, I think it was a really good time to bring it up. So, yeah, guys, um, that's it for this video today. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you guys are staying healthy, right? And staying safe as well. Hopefully, you and your family are doing well, staying blessed. Hopefully, you guys are trading well. This has been a very crazy market environment. I saw a lot of people blow up on Twitter today. So please be careful. Don't oversize. Don't overtrade. Do the things that will make you profitable. I say that all the time. Do the things that will make you profitable. Like how I did today. I did not trade, even though I really wanted to. So, but yeah, hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you guys are trading well. And yeah, keep trading stoically.